All right, everybody, welcome back. We are jumping into another deep dive today. And, we've been looking at a lot of stuff about international students in Canada. This YouTube video we've got is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Talking about, like, a potential exodus.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when all these international students,
Yeah.
their work permits run out?
Right.
It's a lot of people. Over 700,000.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, just thinking about it. Like, if you were someone who, came here to study, spent all this money, got a degree.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like, okay, well, now you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're finishing up school, all excited to start your life,
Yeah.
get a job, build a career.
Make some money.
Maybe even, like, settle down, have a family.
Totally.
And then suddenly it's like, nope, time's up.
Yeah. Not so fast.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
And we've seen, Canada has been, really encouraging international students to come here.
Oh, yeah. It's been a huge thing.
For a long time.
For a long time.
And, I mean, it's good for everybody, right? Students get to come here, they get, like, a world-class education.
Exactly.
And then Canada gets, all these skilled people. They contribute to the economy.
The economy benefits. Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Until maybe now. This is where things get a little
Yeah, it's getting a little complicated.
complicated.
Because you've got all these post-graduation work permits, PGWPs.
Right.
That's what allows people to stay and work after they graduate.
It's that grace period to get on your feet.
Exactly. But there are a ton of them expiring. And, I mean, we're talking, like, by the end of 2023, almost 400,000 students had PGWPs.
Wow.
And that's triple the number from 2018.
It's a massive jump.
It's huge. And
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't just thinking about, like, temporary work. They're thinking, this is how I get permanent residency.
Yeah, for a lot of folks, this is about putting down roots.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I'm here to work for a couple of years and
Exactly.
then I'll see you later. Like, they're building a life here.
And now it's like, uh-oh, what do we do?
Big question mark.
And as if that wasn't enough, at the same time, you've got all these immigration policy changes happening.
It's a lot to navigate.
It's a lot. Like, already just this year, Canada cut the number of international student permits by like 35%.
It's a big reduction.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're planning to cut another 10% next year in 2025.
Yeah. And they're saying it's because of housing,
Yeah.
pressure on the housing market.
Which makes sense. I mean, it is a real issue.
It's a big issue. And it's something that I think a lot of people feel very strongly about.
For sure.
Mhm.
But it also, like, makes you wonder, is that the whole picture?
Well, yeah, because if you look at, like, the larger context, it's gotten pretty politically charged, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, even this YouTube video we're watching, you see, like, the conservatives and the liberals going at it about how to manage immigration and this housing crisis.
Yeah. It's like every week there's a new headline.
And, I mean, it's interesting that they bring up Kolyev. Like, he's been pretty vocal about it.
Oh, totally. He's been very critical of Trudeau.
Yeah.
Saying his policies are basically just creating a ton of uncertainty for people who are here on, like, temporary visas and stuff.
And he doesn't think those policies are really doing enough to solve the housing problem either.
And it's not just politicians, it's students, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the video showed those protests in Brampton.
Yeah.
People are scared. They came here, they put all this time, energy, money into their education.
Yeah.
And now they don't even know if they can stay.
Yeah. It's a tough spot to be in. Like, you put all this into it, and then it's just like, oh, well, maybe you have to leave now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like this really tricky situation because on one hand, yeah, you've got the housing thing, and that's real. That's a problem.
Definitely.
Especially in the big cities where a lot of students want to live.
Makes sense. They want to be where the jobs are, where the action is.
But then on the other hand, you're saying, like, okay, all you skilled, educated people who are contributing to the economy, get out.
Doesn't seem very sustainable.
Like, what are the long-term consequences of that?
And that's what brings us to this idea of brain drain, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically when all the smart, talented people start leaving a country for better opportunities somewhere else.
That's not what you want.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your country competitive, you've got to hang on to that talent.
Totally. Like, it has a huge impact on the economy, on innovation. I mean, everything.
Right. I mean, think about all the different industries that could be affected.
Yeah.
Healthcare, tech, engineering, all of them rely on these highly skilled individuals.
Yeah, it's not just a few people we're talking about here. This could be like a mass exodus.
Hundreds of thousands.
And that is a scary thought.
It definitely makes you think about the future.
Big time. And I think it really shows how complicated this whole thing is, right? Like, it's not just about immigration. It's about housing, education, the economy.
Everything's connected.
It's all tangled up together.
It's a big web.
And the choices we make now, they have a big impact down the road, for sure. And at the end of the day, it's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. We're talking about people's lives, their dreams, their futures.
And it makes you think, what kind of country are we trying to build?
Right. Are we going to be a place that embraces global talent, that fosters innovation?
Or are we going to choose these short-term solutions that might cause even bigger problems down the line?
It's something we all need to be thinking about.
I think so too. And it's easy to just sort of skim the headlines.
Totally.
But what we're seeing here is that these policy decisions, they have real-world consequences.
Yeah, real people are affected by this.
So here's something to think about. What can each of us do to help build a better immigration system?
A more inclusive one, a more sustainable one.
That's the question.
Yeah, food for thought.
Food for thought.
For sure.
That's all the time we have for our deep dive today. But, keep thinking about these things.
Yeah, it's important.
Talk to your friends and family about it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.